Hi, welcome to DestinationDionna, your self-help learning library, where we discuss all things mindset, manifestation, and marriage. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how much I was actually going to talk about this on my channel, but this video has been requested by quite a few of my supporters. And since it is my goal to present content that is helpful, if you guys ask me to do a video on something, I'm going to do it. Since I'm an open book, we are going to talk about gastric bypass. I'm going to tell you all about the process, qualifications, the recovery period, what you can eat, and much, much more. So stay tuned. So now my disclaimer for this video, I am not a doctor. So anything I say is not a substitution for you seeking professional medical advice and recommendations. I just want to share my experience with you, do my best to answer questions based on what I've experienced, but I still recommend that you seek out professional help from a medical physician or surgeon in this case. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we're going to get to the questions. I am going to be looking down at my phone. That's just me referencing the questions that I got, mainly on my Facebook. The first question that I got was, what are the qualifications/criteria for surgery? So in general, gastric bypass is considered like a life-saving surgery. That means it's not a vanity thing. Your life literally needs to be in danger in order for you to be approved for this surgery. By in danger, that means your BMI, body mass index, needs to be morbidly obese. Now, depending on your height, that weight can be different for every individual. In addition to having a morbidly obese body mass index, you also need to have another kind of condition, being anything that's like diabetes, high blood pressure, things like that you're probably taking daily medication for, that are very impactful to your life. So that's basically the qualifications for the surgery. What happens during surgery? And I'm also going to throw in a bonus like before surgery as well. Because your entire surgery process, it doesn't just start the day that you have surgery. It actually starts months before that. Once you see a surgeon and they say that you are eligible for the surgery, they will then apply to your medical insurance to see if it is covered, if they okay it. I honestly can't tell you about the cost. I did not pay for it. It was covered by my insurance, thank God. Once you are approved, you then begin the program. Now, each program has different requirements. So again, what I'm talking about is my experience, what I went through. It could certainly be different, especially varying from state to state. I had to do 6 months of nutrition classes. There was a class each month, and I had to do them consecutively. If you miss any class, you have to start the 6 months over. So before you even have surgery, it's a huge commitment. So continuing on with the process, you have to meet with a psychologist. The reason why you have to meet with a psychologist is they want to make sure that you don't have any mental issues that are going to become a problem, because weight loss surgery completely changes your life. It changes the dynamics of relationships that you're in. Many people turn to alcohol afterwards. Many people have issues in their marriage afterwards. A lot of things come with surgery. It's not just the physical change. So they want to make sure that you are mentally capable to handle the changes that are going to come along. This is part of my goals, and I got to get 64 ounces in, and I can only do it in sips, so it takes all day. So bear with me. So yeah, after that class, you're okayed, and they give you a surgery date, which is usually like within 14 days. So you get your surgery date, and once you get your surgery date, you show up to the hospital. They tell you to show up, I think it's maybe 2 hours before surgery. They check you in. They bring you into a kind of like pre-surgery room where they check your weight. They ask you if you've had any food. Oh, let's bring it back. After the pre-op surgery class and you get your surgery booked, a week before, you are on a liquid diet. Now, I have heard that some surgeons require 2 weeks. I think that is usually for people that have had alcohol problems, that smoke, that do things like that. Since I was fairly healthy, I don't smoke, I only drink on occasion to celebrate, so I really didn't have any of that, and I ate pretty healthy too. I didn't have too much to clear out, so I only had to do a week. But it is a liquid diet. You literally can't have anything besides water, tea, protein shakes, broth, and sugar-free Jell-O. I don't know how that works out to be liquid, but whatever. That's all you can have. And that ish ain't easy. That ish ain't easy at all. I mean, I don't know what was harder. Yeah, because for the surgery, you're asleep. So it's not like... Okay, but anyway, I was having a flashback right there. I'm so sorry, guys. But back to the surgery. So they do kind of like all your pre-op like measurements, take your blood, make sure your blood pressure is down, make sure you don't have anything that would, I don't know, cause an issue during surgery. That's basically what they want to check. They take your weight down. They walk you through the process. They tell you what's going to happen. They say, hey, we're going to give you like this anesthesia. You'll probably be asleep. Within 10 seconds, you're not going to know what's going on. They're going to make this many incisions. You'll wake up. You'll feel like hell. You're going to feel like you have a bunch of gas in your stomach. It's going to take a couple of days for that gas to kind of get out, because I guess during surgery, they kind of blow up your stomach, like to enlarge it so that they can have room to make the incisions and kind of work around and not hit any arteries or anything like that. It's microscopic, so they have these big tools and they do incisions and they kind of do it that way. On to the next question. What is the recovery process? So, when you wake up, you absolutely feel like there is just a bunch of air stuck right here. It feels so uncomfortable. You feel like it's hard to breathe. And it's so hard because there's like literally no relief.
2:35 a.m. I'm up because I just want to get my last pain med dosage. Then I'm going to try to go to sleep. Right now, I got an ice pack over my incisions, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bloated, like almost looks like I'm a couple months pregnant. And that again is the gas buildup that only gets worked out by walking. I have already walked 3 times. This gas. It's painful. It's literally feeling like you have a really big burp that you can't get out. And it's like stuck in your stomach. And then you have incisions that are painful anyway. So they just hurt. I'm really looking forward to this last dose of, I think it's Roxycodone. Looking forward to that. Maybe help take the edge off a little so I can get some sleep. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I haven't slept all day. I mean, with the exception of little cat naps, like 5-10 minute doze offs like that. But I did it, man. Like, I can't believe I did it.
They send you home with medication also that is to prevent like blood clotting, because you're not moving around like you normally would. You're resting, you're recovering. So they give you these injections that you have to take I think it's twice a day. Yes, it's twice a day for 5 days. And you have to time it out with your pain meds, with your vitamins, with your water. So it's a lot to keep up with. I literally had to put reminders in my phone. And whomever was at my house at the time taking care of me, I had to make them aware of my schedule and ask them to keep me accountable. So it's a lot. You also have to make sure that your surgery incisions don't get wet for, I think it's like a week. They tell you not to shower for the first 3 days, and then after that, you can shower, but you still have to keep the incisions covered up. And you're still on the same liquid diet that you were on before surgery, so you still can't eat anything. So we're talking about 2 weeks now that you're not eating anything. Miserable shit. Oh, excuse my language. Miserable time. I'm telling you, it was miserable. After your first week, you go and you have a checkup with your surgeon. They look at your incisions, they weigh you, they take your blood pressure to make sure everything is okay. And if they give you the okay, they let you know that you can start adding in soft foods. And by soft foods, I mean eggs and beans. Like, that's it. So everything that you could have on the liquids, and then you can add in eggs and beans. And it depends. Like, they tell you all the time that your new stomach, which in gastric bypass community, we call it a pouch. So your new pouch could be completely different. Like, things you ate before, you might not like anymore. So it's a learning process as well. You have to figure out what you can actually stomach. That's basically the recovery process. And without even knowing it, I got into the next question, which was, what can you eat after surgery? So after surgery, immediately after surgery, the first week, you are still on a liquid diet. After you get the okay from your surgeon, the next week you can add in, oh, I'm sorry, that probably made noise. The next week you can add in soft foods like eggs and beans. After that week, you go and see the nutritionist, and they weigh you, make sure you're okay, and then they talk to you about the process over the next few months. I'm not even going to pretend that I remember the specifics. So what I will do, I'm going to take a picture of kind of the calendar and guidelines that I have up in my kitchen. It is still in my kitchen to this day, even though I'm 7 months post-op. So I can pretty much eat anything that is on my approved food list, but in a nutshell, you can't really eat a whole lot of like carbs, simple sugars, junk foods, processed foods. You can't eat it. Rice, pasta, crackers, bread, anything like that. Chips, candy, ice cream, cookies, anything that you love. I mean, you're not supposed to eat it. You're not supposed to have processed sugar. You're not supposed to have anything. You're really supposed to stick to vegetables, mainly like green, leafy ones, not starchy things like corn and peas. I know, like corn and peas was my ish. Like, I don't want to think about what I can't eat. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna tell y'all. So, you really just gotta focus on like seafood, lean meats, chicken, like poultry, and veggie. I mean, you can have some fruits too, but mainly like berries. A lot of fruit has a lot of sugar in it, so you have to really limit that as well. So that's kind of what you can eat. On to the next question. What are the consequences for not changing your lifestyle? The consequences are, if you eat anything that you're not supposed to eat, you more than likely will dump. Dumping syndrome is when your pouch, body, whatever, cannot process the food, and you go through a process where you actually dump it out. For some people, that can be diarrhea. For some people, that can be throwing up. For some people, it's just dry heaving and uncomfortability until the food passes. Again, I'm sorry guys. I kind of live in a little hooded community right now. I'm on my come up. Don't judge. Yeah, so back to dumping syndrome. It can also happen if you eat your food too fast. That's another thing. You literally have to like chew your food to oblivion because your stomach can only fit about 4 ounces of food at a time. I don't know if you guys even know how small 4 ounces of food is. Now that you see how small 4 ounces is, you'll realize that whenever you eat something, you have to chew it really, really small so that you can digest it and it doesn't take up all the room in your stomach. If you drink while you're eating, that takes up room. So you're literally not supposed to drink. And let me remind myself, I should be done with this water by the time I'm done with this video. So if I'm not, like, that's not a good thing. Drink y'all water. If you be getting in 64 ounces of water or more a day, leave me a note. Like, say hashtag water gang or something. Like, I need y'all to keep me motivated on that. It's hard. So yeah. Consequences. So dumping syndrome. So yeah, if you eat too fast, if you eat a food you're not supposed to eat, if you drink water, too close to when you're eating so there's not enough space, you can experience dumping syndrome. What your surgeon is going to tell you is follow these rules so you don't ever experience dumping. There are some people who haven't. I go to a weight loss support group monthly and almost everybody in there has experienced dumping. There's like one lady who hasn't, and to be honest, she looks like death. Like her face is sucked in. She doesn't look good. So I don't care. Like, that was so mean. You guys, I'm a godly person. I'm trying to be better. But I like have a mean streak. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, almost everybody experiences dumping. And it's different for everybody. For me, I feel like death. I feel like I have to throw up, and for probably 10 or 15 minutes, I can't. I end up like standing over the toilet bowl and kind of like helping myself, like making myself heave it up. And then after I've emptied myself, I still have to like sit for like 10 or 15 minutes. I feel extremely tired, like the wind has been knocked out of me. I don't want to do anything. I usually curl up in a ball and lay under covers for like 15 minutes until I've regained my energy. That being said, it completely sucks, and I do my best not to experience that. So, on to the next question. Are there any mental or emotional side effects? I'm going to say that this varies. If you are a mentally tough person and you do a good job of self-care before surgery, you'll be good after. If you're not, you need to adopt a self-care regimen. You need to journal. You need to talk about what you're experiencing. I definitely recommend going to weight loss support groups, joining them on Facebook, because you need to talk with other people that have experienced what you're experiencing, that know what you're going through. And a lot of times they can give you support. As I was going through my recovery process, I definitely asked a lot of questions. Is this normal? What are you guys eating? How do you break up the monotony? Like all of that. And I was able to get that from other people who had surgery already. The next question is, what other options do you have if you don't qualify? So, for one, I just want to say gastric bypass isn't the only type of weight loss surgery. There are other types out there. I'm not going to name them all because, to be honest, my surgeon was like, if you're going to do weight loss surgery, go for the big one. The other ones, a lot of them, people usually come back and get a revision or end up upgrading to bypass after a year or so. So to me, if I was going to do a surgery, I was just going to do the biggest one, get it out the way. But however, there are many other weight loss surgery alternatives out there. I recommend that you just do some research and look into what is the best option for you if you are considering weight loss surgery. The next question. What is the rate of weight loss? Does it stop or do you keep losing? So, let me reiterate. The weight loss process is about 18 months. You lose the bulk of your weight in the first 6 months. They tell you that. It's very dramatic. And depending on how much weight you have to lose, that's the rate of progression of weight loss. So I will use myself as an example. I had 100 pounds to lose, right? 100 pounds. So what they told me is by the 6-month mark, I would be at 50 or 60 pounds lost. And they were right. I was right on target. After the 6 months, it slows down dramatically. And they say at about 9 months, you should be like 75% of the way. At a year, you should be at like 85% of the way, which is where I am now. Overachiever. And then at the 18 months goal, that is where you should be at your goal weight. And goal weight is the weight that your surgeon has given you, not like your idealistic goal. So listen, I know this video is probably longer than a lot of my other videos, and it wasn't dynamic. You don't see a lot of different shots or anything like that. Sorry. I hope it kept your attention. I didn't meet my water goal, see, that's what I'm talking about. But if you guys have any other questions about gastric bypass, leave them in the comment section. Let me know what other questions you have, and I will definitely do a part 2. Because surgery is not a quick fix. It's not an easy, like, push and you're done button. It is a tool. It's extremely helpful. I don't think I would have been able to lose this weight without it. However, it requires you to change your entire life. And if you're not ready to do that, surgery is not for you. Thank you guys so much for coming to Destination Dionna. If you are not a part of the DD tribe already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and of course, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I drop a video. And, make sure you hashtag notification gang so I know that you're a part of my tribe. So yeah, I'll be talking with you guys next week.